I'm giggling because I can hear one of my housemates. Poor thing. Automatic going, are you okay? He's like, yeah. Oh yeah, girl, I'm fine. Because you sound like you're gonna cough up a lung. Okay, so check it out. It's July 20th, 2024. Kashmir, he's the 2-year-old. He only knows his language is no, mine, and Okay, you'll hear that in a second. But it's July 20th. 2024. It's 10:26 in the a.m. So I got my birth certificate in the mail because mine disappeared when Milton tossed all my shit. And I'm looking and I'm staring at the signatures and noticing there's a pattern. I may have to go in with a shovel. Hold on. Let me just make sure she's okay. She's okay. You want some water? No, baby, I'm fine. Okay. Thank you. Sure. That's Mr. Rhonda. Anyway, I'm still this whole thing. I found this out yesterday, no, night before last. Because I've seen my birth certificate, never really stared at it, right? And then when I was finding some shit out, I was like, okay, now I really need to stare at it. Didn't have it. That's a fucking Milton. So I'm gonna show you a couple things, and then just for laughs, I thought, well, out of all of these flashcards, okay, let's see if I can pick out, because I know who did it. I was going back and forth between two people, and I got confirmation today. So I decided to pull some cards out of these to see if it'll describe who is involved with all this. And do you want to know what? So far, fucking spot on. Okay, so first, no, it's really quite lovely. The same guy signed all three. I guess the mother, Susan A. Torres, my mom. I guess the doctor, which I tried my damnedest, couldn't figure it out. So AI actually pronounced it for me. Vietama or something. Did better than I did. But yeah, first and a last name. I was not able to find their medical license number, but it was a long time ago. 77. The address of the hospital. This is where I noticed the pattern and the name of the doctor. Because I'm still just floored by what I'm about to tell you. So I found a marriage certificate for me, Christina Marie Torres, at 18 years old, May 1995, year I graduated, to some dude named Jose Martinez, whatever. How could this be, right? So I'm looking, I'm like, there's a bunch of Christinas in the world, but I could swear that's Grandpa's handwriting on that fucking thing. And if I look closer, that's my mother's handwriting signing Christina Marie Torres. I've lived with my mother my entire life. 5th grade, I forged her signature to get out of a detention slip. Didn't want her to beat my butt. But that's how good I was at her, because it's easy. It looks like S.A. Jones. S.A. Jones. Just... That's not what's here. Not only that, the last couple times I had pulled cards that the ambidextrous is coming out. But it never resonated with anything I was talking about. It hit me. I'll bet you Milton is ambidextrous. Can write both with his... Because I zoomed in really close on the Susan A. Torres, on the Torres. And I'm like, that's exactly how I would do it as a lefty. And it's an extra, like, I hate cursive. All lefties, we hate. And then the other thing I noticed, and where did I put it? He has a habit, or whoever's doing this. I think it's Milton, and I'll show you why. The first thing I saw was my marriage license. My senior year, Mom and I are in the car. She tells me, oh, by the way, I have to go to New Mexico with your dad, Uncle Ernie, and Aunt Tony. We have to sell off a bunch of property that we bought, that we all bought together, or went in on together a long time ago. Okay. That was it. That's all I remember the conversation. For some reason, I remembered that. I think it's Ancestry.com that I found this marriage. It's a marriage certificate and a license. I guess I didn't print out the other one, okay? My grandpa had very distinct handwriting. There's another man out here that looks just like him. His name is Louis Torres. Ernesto Rico's best friend. Milton has a habit. When he writes in cursive, he'll write his first letter in regular print and then finish off in cursive. He's done that like 4 times. So the witness, Cynthia James. Now, Cynthia James is a friend of my mom. She's known for years. Every year we would get a family picture of her husband, and her son, and her daughter. Every year like clockwork. Cindy James. And sure enough, that was just another kind of a confirmation that this must be mine. Okay, because that says Cindy James. But it's got a regular J, and then A, okay? And then on the, let's see, Ari P. Taylor, that's the clerk, I guess, at the time in, where did they marry me? In Denver, Colorado. Ari P. Taylor. Sure enough, there's a printed P and then a capital T, but the rest is in cursive. Right there. Okay, so that's one spot in a different name. Here, same thing with Cynthia James, that's 2. We got my mom signing mine. Then we got Danny Baca. I hadn't heard of Danny Baca until I met him and Ernie Rico together at a bar. I'm like, you look so much like my Uncle Ernie. It's creepy, just a lot shorter. But here's the thing. I feel like that's the name Danny Baca. I don't feel like it's the same one that I was talking to, but I don't know. I haven't really asked. So, yes or no, I don't know. No shit. Because I sent Danny a picture of this and was like, I didn't say anything. He sent back a message saying, whoa, no. He called back, hey Christina, what is it that you sent me? I don't know what it is. Give me a call. And he sounded like bullshit, so I never called back. I just knew that they knew me before I knew who they were. Jose Romualdo Martinez Jr. Now, I'm noticing also, now this second marriage license got into my phone on its own. It grew legs, probably a badge and some security clearance, okay? And it made its way into my phone so that I could find it. so that I could see that there is another marriage license and certificate for the same groom, Jose Romaldo, blah, blah, blah. Okay? And the writing, it looks familiar, it feels familiar. Not only that, Fred Lucero, I guess, is one of the witnesses for I knew Paul Frederick Lucero in Socorro, and he said that his wife's name was Rosie, and this is another witness, Rosemarie Lucero, but the way that they're writing Lucero looks a lot like the printing. This is one person. I can match pens. Here, this one, and where's the other one? Okay, so we have 2 different states. This one is California. This is my birth certificate copy. And then this one is a marriage license in Colorado for this Jose whoever and a Nancy Virginia whoever. Okay. Now, look at the pen that was used. Kind of almost like it could be a black felt tip marker. See it right there? Okay, felt. Definitely very distinguishable from all the other script pen, right? Almost like it could be a stamp almost, right? I don't know what the name is, okay? But I guarantee you, it's not. Lytton A. Withdrawal, whatever. Because look, it's the same handwriting. It's a different name. Might have even been the same kind of stamp and pen. And see that W in the middle there? Look at that W, right? Where is it? W looks familiar. I'm not sure anymore. Maybe I need to look it upside down. But see the W here, and that's Milton. So look at the 1711. See the 11 specifically, how he writes his ones there. On mine, look at how the 10th is written. It looks awfully similar, right? Look at the 10 that's circled, and then there's the 1, 7, and 11. Same kind of straight script. Another name that Mubar L whoever, but a capital regular V, not in cursive. It's in print, and then the rest is handwriting. What made me confirm that it was Milton as opposed to Felix, Judge Felix, it's the T's. Milton is... Oh, listen to the fucking cards that came out. Milton bought a Mercedes so he can tell people, I read Mercedes. He's got his pinky ring, his watch. Here, I need to sign my lease, Milton. Don't scratch the Mercedes. You know, in my head, I'm like, fuck you. His hair, perfect. Always dresses nice. His pajamas, even on the weekends. Doesn't wear his clothes, wears his pajamas. That's it. Once, very, very, very much wants his appearance to be noticed, okay? So when he writes, he does it with flash, like a panache, and that's what okay? It's like a voila, I'm the man. Also, I know him hiding some way, way, way latent homosexual tendencies. Always been feeling it. He's also a snowball. So I pulled some cards to see whether or not they're going to have anything to do with Milton. And holy shit. The T's. See how, and I can bring up some court documents. In fact, I can use this one as an example. Denver County. The big old D. It's a very... Where'd it go? Okay, you see that? Very loopy, very slick, very just... That's, first of all, that's a male script. That's somebody who's, just thinks his shit doesn't stink. Very... Also, takes pride in what he does here. And he does it well. I mean, I've been trying to wrap my head around this, the last 6-7 months? Because I knew it was familiar with court documents. It was either him or Felix. But no. What it is Milton feels he can just do whatever he wants in Socorro. He went into the courts and was like, pull everything you can for Christina Torres now. And he went in. Felix's handwriting, okay, it's easy to forge. It's a scribble. Okay? I think that's what happened. I don't even think... Felix probably didn't even know. But these are the cards that came out. But, also, these certificates, I've been zooming in using Magic Eraser, Google Lens. Zoom in, screenshot. Zoom in and that. And it'll just keep going and going and going. But I found I think it was a death certificate, I think? Okay. For a man named Robert Ariche. And I remember I got to it because I somehow went from my dad's. I think this is my dad's real father, okay? I don't know what made me do it, but I zoomed in on the date of death, but I could see something kind of in the back, so I'm fucking with the tint, the saturation, all that shit. Sure enough, behind the year, I could see another year. It's 1925. I have screenshots. I put them on the flash drive before I do anything else today, actually. Yep. I found on mine, there's some letters that says, I don't know if it says PR and memory or something, but it's underneath what you see here. I thought it was odd. I looked at my parents' address at the time and where the hospital was, where Cedars-Sinai is. And my mom had apparently a C-section. She was sick, had toxemia or whatever. But I'm like, what? They're so fucking far away. I didn't make sense to me. Also doesn't make sense that my parents can't remember what they did with me for my first couple weeks that I was born. Another thing that's creepy, Google Lens, when it recognizes text, it highlights it like a little strip. Kind of looks like the old whiteout, and then it'll say select text, and you have a choice. It'll jump to whatever it recognizes as text. Now, it doesn't recognize all writing as text. Even it could be perfectly legible, and it just won't highlight. You're like, how come I can't get it to highlight? Don't know why. Sometimes the weirdest things will highlight. It just said 47, but it looks like 1,207. Why does shit like that happen sometimes? Because it's happened a couple times here. On my certificate, there's a spot that it gives somebody's name, this whatever guy, but what they do is they cover it over. It's like a layer. It said wife 7. There's nothing on here remotely looks like WIFE. Nothing. I have, what do you call it? A screen recorder of me like pulling up going, what the hell? And I was putting it over wife 7 or 7Y. And then I don't know what made me do it. The time that I was born was 11:26, I guess, p.m. Zoomed in, zoomed in, screenshot. Zoomed in from that. More, screenshot. More, screenshot. You should see what it looks like. Oh my god. But it doesn't say 1126 anymore. It was something completely different. And maybe it's because it's not recognizing them as numbers, or every single object that I've taken a picture of, whether it's alive or dead, whatever, inanimate, zooming in 25, 30 times, screenshot, zoom. Every single one has life. I'm taking pictures of life, I see there's faces and I'm circling them. Live energy. It's the truth. I'll watch. And then these cards are going to trip. $11.26. See, I just zoomed in on it, right? But I just went further and further and further. It's actually a much different number when you keep zooming in. Okay. Another thing, and I have to tell you, these faces are people. They're not happy. I took a picture of the energy in my scooter. On the way home, there are two memorials, two crosses for I think a husband and wife that near the freeway. Okay, so I went and sat and visited them with them yesterday and just talk. And these are their little markers, right? Now I pull up my little ghost, what do you call it? And sure enough, there's a little man dancing, all in there, a little green guy, and then there's one also, and hers not really dancing, but it's there. And then there was a third sitting in the middle of the grass. Didn't really. And what I asked was, is it light? You know, is it? I mean, my name's. I introduced myself. I know you're there. I know, you know, and the one for Jason was just bouncing off the. And what I was hearing was, why can't I get out? What's going on? I can't get out. Why are we here? Well, it was an accident. I think they probably just got hit, you know, and died instantly. When you die that fast, it lowers the vibration so much, almost to the human level, that they can't see. It's just too fucking dark, you know, or low vibration. So the energy from coming off of Stephanie was more of a, I can't believe this is happening kind of thing. Like, I will say that I had to explain that they're not aware that they weren't supposed. It's like when you go on a cruise and you pay for an excursion to go offshore and do some things, whatever fun stuff, and you come back, right? You get on the boat and you go back. They're just some beings from another freaking, you know, whatever, who do the same thing. Hey babe, let's go to Earth and we'll do a couple little journeys, whatever, and just, you know, take pictures and stuff. It'll be great. And because of the schmucks running this shit, didn't tell him to read the fine print. Like fucking, what's his face? Russ. That little ugly fucker that, like, I'll sign this contract, I'll give you anything you want, but you owe me your soul. Whatever. Was like, well, yeah, you can give me your soul, and what that means is you become another brick in the wall. I put your soul in my masterpiece. I'm making my masterpiece is Earth. It's made up of all the souls I take. That's real shit. You know who the bringer of darkness is? Okay. The coming of the Messiah is to lead. It's to lead them, right, and set them free. I figured out the way to if they're trapped in the grid, in the black, in the static, as it were. Well, what do you need to get out? Well, to go from dark to light, you need to think of, you know, be happy, love, that kind of shit, right? Well, how do you do that? Well, tell me something you liked about your journey on Earth. You know, I heard you say, you know, soccer. You played soccer. Yeah, I love playing soccer. think about it, how much you loved doing it, what the grass smelled like, your cleats, all that. How dirty you got, your skin knees, how much you just loved it. What's going to happen is your soul could slowly get a little bit brighter. It's not going to be as dark as it was 30 seconds ago. And you just keep doing that. What's the next best thing? Mom kissed me on the forehead before I went to sleep. That made me feel so good. Or the smell of bacon, whatever. More and more it raises. When they can finally see the light and realize they can get there, like, bye bitches, bye Christina, thanks for your help. We're out. And that's it. And I had to think about that for a second. So if we have all of this darkness, all of these souls trapped in the darkness, right? And then I figure out a way to explain to them how to get their light brighter so they can leave. Imagine if like everybody did that all at once. All of the energy that all of us, that we all provide, okay? Whoever's running this bitch was like, yep, you get to do this, give me your money. Yeah, you can be a star, we'll call you the Rock, this, and this, that. When it's all over, I get your soul. Didn't tell them that what that meant was that soul was going to be spent in another simulation for all eternity. These faces, they're faces. You can't miss them. Undeniably. Everything has energy. And it's proven because when you zoom in enough, you see, oh my God, that's heat. The only thing that could be giving that off with that kind of spectrum is energy, is heat. Infrared. I'll tell you this. Whoever is in charge of all of this, they refer to me as the devil. The bringer of darkness, because she's going to tell all of these souls, lie to them, I'm sure, and they're going to leave. Basically, every time someone dies, that soul, it's like taking another battery and dropping it on, sticking it, and you have more power to power whatever it is you want to power. Now imagine I convince these souls who are stuck how they can leave by just remembering how much they loved all this. I can understand why the good one would be called the devil. Because what they did was they convinced us of the opposite. That's why all of our English language, it's all bad shit. Convinced us that the thing is there's just too much evidence to support now that there's a bunch of lying going on. Why couldn't this be going on too? Because this points to this. And the magic seems to work. It just does. And it's not just me. I'm running into so many people, but they all think they're fucking nuts. Well, it's my bipolar. Really? Smoke a little bit of dope. Kind of sometimes when people are going to show up, people are going to call, text. Okay. Because all the symptoms that somebody goes through when they're awakening to being a medium, that kind of to 5D accessness, to 5D consciousness, they're pretty much all the same kind of symptoms somebody with bipolar disorder is going to have. Happy one second, then the next. Well, that's because you just walked into a room and someone's got pissy energy. Doesn't mean you have a chemical fucking disorder. I got so many. Once in a while, just kind of talk to yourself. Now you're paranoid. I've been diagnosed paranoid schizophrenic. I've told them over and I don't hear voices. I hear thoughts. The same way that you're thinking to yourself, I'm probably lying straight to your face. That's what a medium is. It's a thought. They're not voices. They still wrote down paranoid schizophrenic. Gave me the medication, but I did it to get to the shelter, which I did. Stop taking the meds. Then it appeared. I gotta tell you, look at the cars I pulled. Yeah, this girl is not. Doesn't she? She's like. Yeah. If no, I feel like if Beavis had an auntie, that would be her. All right. So with regard to pulling cards to the person who is responsible for making those signatures himself or anybody else involved. My mom doesn't even make her teas that way. First thing that came out was police officer, or ERS, which makes sense because Coral PD was asked to falsify my records. I have a non-smoker, which is true. Hits women, which I don't doubt. Wouldn't be surprised if you said Elena before. Probably open hand. This came out too, which is weird. Right after that was overweight. And what I'm hearing is he put on like 15 pounds, 10 pounds. Just drinking more beer, just depressed, thinking about this. I'm incarcerated, and that's actually future energy. What's funny is before I pulled this next card, my roommate was in here, and I said, you know what? I know he's sucking some dick too. I've always had that feeling that he's closet hope. Next card that came out was has a secret they are afraid to mention. Followed immediately by I'm into some kinky shit. And I shit you not, right after that was let me unzip your pants. Yes. He also does blow, but who knows if the cocaine part's actually going to come out. This came out and I thought, gave me the willies. Because I always, just, you know how, yeah. But he would never tell anybody that, or admit it. Hushed. What did I say? Paranoid schizophrenic? Okay, that's with regard to the overweight woman with long hair. That's me. Who prefers to be outdoors. Who is single. And with regard to all this, has to do with DNA. That is classified, covered up. Apparently I'm also a Sigma, female, which I don't know exactly what that is. This goes further up the food chain, or higher up the food chain. I have telepathy, and then I got, of course, evidence. I got plenty of. After that, I got ex-Navy SEAL, which isn't Milton, but. And then after that, I got blonde. The person I think that is helping me, I think, might be an ex-Navy SEAL, I think. Don't know who it is though. But I owe them at least dinner and a kiss. After Hushed came out Time Traveler and Revenge. Told you, I felt like it was fucking personal. How? And I worked so hard to find the connection between Milton and my parents. Finally fucking did. It was my dad's background report. 1984. Someone sold him his house. It's the only house I've ever known him to have, okay? The owner, or the seller's name was Milton Marin. Is that a coincidence? Or did Milton just have an alias? That's what it was. I bet Dad was like, yeah, I'll sell you all this property. It's got rich in so many minerals and stuff. And Milton was like, that's awesome. Here, I'll buy you your house in California. And Dad was like, that sounds like a great idea, dude. Cut off the phones and everything. And they found out all their land was shit. And they was pissed, couldn't find him, I guess. Lucky me. Moved into Milton's place. He finds out a year later, that's Bob Torres' fucking daughter. Had no idea. I had nothing to do with this shit. You gonna fuck with me? Oh no. No. It was worth losing everybody who... My parents just cut me off. Like, how do you explain all this? What do you have to say for yourself? It's crickets. That's pretty cool. I can do that with anything. Anybody. Drop your name. And I'll pull some of these cards out and you'll be surprised just how much they're gonna. So I looked up birth certificate shit. And apparently that it's an FBI thing. So I've got 3 letters I gotta write. But I'm taking my time because I'm gonna write them well, make sure that everything's organized. But I'm pretty sure the IRS and probably most specifically the IRS is gonna be interested in knowing all of this money going into trust funds, not touching taxes, I'm sure. Figured out how to do it though. I'm gonna try it. I just need a couple of apps. A PDF. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna take one of Milton's documents. I'm gonna do exactly like he did. And I'm gonna mail it to him. Certified. It's gonna open up like a summons. It'll have different words on it. Yeah. Oh, I'll get pictures of them before I send them out. Won't be posting them on a blog because somebody's completely compromised that. I'm just gonna write a book. But this other stuff, it's on a flash drive, and I no longer work on this computer, which I'm sure you guys have noticed with regard to that. So, oh yeah, there's free Wi-Fi everywhere around here, so just easier that way. I can't wait. See what it's like to alter all that shit. Then with Google's awesome for helping with all of this shit, and you know they are, I'm sure. I gotta get in the shower. Oh fuck, my clothes.